Hello, my name is Xavier Thomas, electrical engineering major at the Jackson State University. I am from St. Louis, Missouri, and today I will be presenting my slideshow about the cultural shock received while attending a HBCU. Cultural shock is a feeling that most people feel after moving to a new location. But you are okay. That doesn't mean that everything is over. Students that come from all different backgrounds end up coming to HBCUs to build each other up and do better as students together. Coming from many different backgrounds and different institutions, this causes a culture shock for many students. Many students have not been used to the energy or the culture or the aroma. Coming from these different institutions, many students come together and experience a massive culture shock. Many students have not been used to the culture or the energy or the vibe around campus. It's all different for each student. What is an HBCU? A HBCU is a historical black college or university made so that African Americans can pursue higher education. HBCUs are home to many different ethnicities, races, anybody, any gender, anything. As long as you're willing to do your work, you're welcome at a HBCU for your new home. I myself have experienced this culture shock from the Southern hospitality, where I go to the caf and the people who are serving me are just so nice, or the people all around me are just nice. From the fraternities and sororities, I knew nothing about any of that before I came to the school, and I've learned a lot. To the dances that everyone has came up with around campus, and they're hard, but I've learned them. And even to the cuisine, soul food. I'm not so used to eating soul food all the time, but this school has made me a better man, and it will continue to build me up. Tevin Thompson is a student at Jackson State University that did an interview talking about how his experience was being an international student at the Jackson State University. And he talked about his culture shocks, which he had a culture shock with the weather. Back home, it wasn't raining as much. He didn't have such bad weather and then good weather off and on. Then the food, he was used to much more seasoning. He was shocked when he came to the United States and seen how much seasoning was on the food, and he just wanted more. And then the culture, just being on campus is so different from being out of the States. He had to get used to it. It took some time, but it has grown on him. African Americans also deal with these culture shocks. Some students were even told, you talk too proper, or you talk different, which is not a nice thing to say. But even with the bad things, at HBCU makes you feel like you're at home. You're with family. These people are here to help you just as well as you're here to help them. Also, you will feel much more comforting just looking around and seeing so many faces like your own. Melanin. Also, another point of view of culture shock was taken at Florida A&M. Each person has a different background. Each person has grown up differently. But everyone has came together at these HBCUs to build each other up and persevere as a black woman or man or human being, as a human beings, to do better and help each other out as much as we all can. But what can we do as students to make our fellow students feel more comfortable at our HBCUs? 1, we can be nice to each other, welcome each other into our friend groups, just help build relationships. Treat others how you would like to be treated. Make sure that the way you would like to be treated is the way you treat others. And try to be understanding, because not everyone is used to the warm embrace of an HBCU, and they need time to warm up to it. Don't be too hard pushing yourself onto one another, but just gradually give each other time. In conclusion, culture shock is not always a bad thing. It can be a good thing as well. You just got to take time to get used to it and try to adapt to the new ways. After all, HBCUs are your next home. We are a big family, and we're there for you.